And you children can listen and look at the pictures, and we'll learn with pictures today instead of puppets. It's also a lot of fun. Now, I chose this story. It's a story of Kamtza and Bar Kamtza because yesterday was Asara B'Tevet. And yesterday we met a very angry king, King Titus, who destroyed the second Bet HaMikdash. Remember? Remember, Yaladim, we learned how there were two Batei Mikdash. First, there was one Bet HaMikdash that King Nebuchadnezzar destroyed. And then there was another king, another Bet HaMikdash that King Titus destroyed. You know what, children, can we try to make our legs like pretzels? I think everybody could see better. I'll hold up the pictures also. You'll be able to see, okay?
And he gotta be in his house.
Yeah, but today we're telling a different part of the story. I want to tell us today the story of why the king got so angry and why he destroyed the Bet HaMikdash. It all began with a man called Plony. Plony was very, very rich. He had a lot of friends and a lot of important people in the government and the leaders of the Jewish people that Plony knew. He knew all the rabbis, the young rabbis and the old rabbis, all the princes and all the generals in the army. Plony was very popular, and he said, I'm going to make a big party, and I'm going to invite everyone. So he made cards and he wrote on it, you are invited. See, he said, come to my party. Everyone is invited to come to my party. He was very excited to invite everyone. Now, he told his servant, go give all the important people my invitation so they can come to my party. And then he went through the list and he thought, there's some people I like and there's one person I really don't like. There's one man I love very much. His name is Kamtza. But Kamtza has a son called Bar Kamtza. And I don't like Bar Kamtza. I love Kamtza, but I don't like Bar Kamtza. Children, Plony and Bar Kamtza would fight all the time for no reason. It was called Sinat Chinam, hating one another for no reason at all. It was very not nice. Now, children, the servant took the envelope that said, you're invited. And on the envelope, he wrote the word Kamtza. See, he wrote Kamtza on the envelope. And he said, please go give it to my very good friend, Kamtza. Tell him to come to my party. But the servant made a mistake, children. And instead of going to Kamtza's house, the servant went to Bar Kamtza's house. See, the name was almost the same. One was called Kamtza and the other one was called Bar Kamtza. And the servant mixed it up. He took the invitation to the wrong man. Well, when Bar Kamtza got the invitation, he started to smile and he said, that's funny. I wonder why he invited me. We always fight and we don't like each other. And we fight for no reason. But you know what? If he wants to be friends, okay, I'll come. I'm so happy. So he came to the party. Now, children, he walked in and suddenly Plony saw Bar Kamtza. And he pointed his finger and he said, hey, Bar Kamtza, what are you doing in my party? So Bar Kamtza held up the invitation and he said, look, I got an invitation. You invited me. And Plony said, give me that, let me look. And he took the invitation and he said, no, it's all a mistake. You're not the one who's invited. This doesn't say Bar Kamtza. It says Kamtza. I meant to invite your father, not you. See, it was for your father, for Kamtza, not for Bar Kamtza. And he took the invitation and he ripped it up and he said, you leave and get out of my party. He was very not nice children. And Bar Kamtza got all red in the face. He was very embarrassed. He was very ashamed. Children must never shame someone. And Plony was getting more and more red in the face and saying, get out and leave my party. So Bar Kamtza told Plony, he said, let me stay, please. I'll pay money for the food I ate. And Plony said, no, you can't stay in my party. So he said, okay, I'll pay for half the party. Please let me stay. But Plony said, no, you have to leave. So he said, I'll pay for everyone's food. And still, he kicked him out. And all his money went dangling and falling everywhere. And he was thrown out. Bar Kamtza went home and he was very sad. And he started to think about the party and how he was thrown out. And he said, everyone was there. Everyone saw how I was thrown out of the party. All the rabbis saw, the young rabbis and the old rabbis, and all the important princes and all the generals. They all saw. But you know what? They all just closed their eyes and they pretended they didn't see. And nobody got up and said, Plony, it's not nice. Let Bar Kamtza stay. Nobody said anything. Everyone stayed quiet. And the more he thought about it, the more Bar Kamtza got angry. First, he was only angry at Plony. But then he said, no, I'm angry at everyone, at all the Jewish people and at all the rabbis and all the princes and the army generals and everyone who was there. And he said, I'm going to go and take revenge and I'll get all the Jewish people into trouble. And children, he went far away to the country of Rome, children. The country of Rome had a very important king. And he came to the Roman king and he said, Roman king, the Jewish people don't like you. They want to fight against you. The Roman king got very sad and he said, that can't be. Every year I send a special cow to the Bet HaMikdash that should be brought up on my behalf as a korban for Hashem. So the Jewish people should daven for me to be a strong, powerful king. And Plony said to him, no, it's not true. They take your cow and they just throw it out in the field. They don't bring your cow to the Bet HaMikdash. Now, children, that wasn't true. Bar Kamtza was lying. He made up nonsense. The Jewish people always took the king's cow and brought it as a korban and davened to Hashem to keep the king healthy and strong and powerful. But he lied. And the Roman king got very sad. And he said, really? I'm not sure you're telling the truth. So he said, you know what? This time when you send the cow on the boat, on the ship, send spies, big spy glasses like this. So make spies to go and look and see what's really happening to your cow. So on the boat, spies came to see what would happen to the king's cow. You know who was also on the boat? On the boat was also Bar Kamtza, who was still very angry. And he went on the boat, children. And in the middle of the night, he went tippy-toe, shh. He didn't let anybody see. When it was night and the cow was on the boat he took out a knife, children, and with the knife, he didn't kill the cow. He just made a boo-boo on the cow. You know where he made the boo-boo? On the tongue of the cow. He went, and on the tongue of the cow, he cut a little cut on the tongue. And nobody could see. The cow closed his mouth. Nobody noticed that the cow got a cut on its tongue. Now, the cow arrived in the land of Israel, and the rabbis were all very excited. Ooh, how nice! The Roman king again sent a cow to the Bet HaMikdash to be brought up as a korban. We'll bring it up and we'll make sure to daven to Hashem to make him strong and powerful. But then, children, they said, before we take the cow and we bring it up as a korban, we have to check it doesn't have a moom. A moom means a boo-boo. So they check the arms and legs of the cow. They check the ears. They check the eyes. They check the tummy. Then they check the tongue. When they check the tongue, what did they find, Yeladim? A boo-boo. And they said, oh no, look at this cow. This cow has a moom, has a boo-boo. Mora's going to put a Band-Aid on the cow. You could see the Band-Aid there. It's got a boo-boo on its tongue. If a cow has a moom, you cannot bring it up as a korban. That's what the Torah said. And they said, oh no, what will we do? If we don't bring up the cow, the king will get very angry. And if we tell him, why did you send a cow with a boo-boo on its tongue? He'll get very angry and said, are you saying I didn't send a nice cow? So they didn't know what to do. He said, but Hashem says in the Torah, you can't bring up a cow with a moom. So they said, you know what? Nobody will know. We'll take the cow and we'll just not bring it up as a korban and we'll send it out to the field. Well, children, who remembers, who was on the boat? That's right, the spies. And the spies saw, and the spies went back to the king and they said, King of Rome, Bar Kamtza was right. They didn't bring your cow up as a korban. And the king of Rome, children, became very angry. And he said, we're going to go and destroy the Bet HaMikdash. Children, this entire story happened because two people were fighting for no reason. Bar Kamtza and Ploni. Let me find the picture of them getting upset at each other. Or lost it. Never mind. Doesn't matter. It's not important. Because two people were fighting for no reason. And that's why the Bet HaMikdash got destroyed. Children, our Chachamim tell us that the way to build the Bet HaMikdash again is instead of having Sinat Chinam, is to have Ahavat Chinam, to love one another and to be kind to each other and to love each other for no reason, just because Hashem created us and just because we're Jewish people and we all love each other. That's why we love one another. And by having Ahavat Chinam, Hashem will rebuild for us the Bet HaMikdash. May it happen very soon in our days. Let's sing the song. They sing Ahavat Yisrael song, Don't Walk in Front of Me. Do they know it? Do they walk in front of me? I may not follow. Don't walk behind me. I may not lead. Put your hands on each other's shoulders. Just walk beside me and be my friend. And together we will walk in the ways of Hashem. לרעך כמוך, זה כלל גדול בתורה. ואהבת לרעך כמוך, זה כלל גדול